What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm here to talk about Welcome Home, Brother Charles, which is also known as Soul Vengeance in some releases. It's also on this in a double feature here from Vinegar Syndrome with Emma May. I'll do a separate review of that in its own video later on. In this movie, we follow Charles, who was a small-time drug dealer, street hustler. He ran into an extremely racist cop, and his partner, who is maybe not as bad of a person on the surface, but who refuses to intervene whenever his partner wants to severely beat and injure Charles after he's been handcuffed and can't defend himself. The guy actually tries to castrate Charles at one point. He ends up going to prison, has a lot of introspection. It's like kind of, a super time of discovering himself and soul searching. And the way the movie shows that is actually really cool, I think. Once he gets out a few years later, he's a changed man. He's going to walk the straight and narrow. He's going to try to be a better person, make the community a better place. He doesn't want to fall back into the old ways. But as soon as he's out, he starts to look at the world around him and realize that, living this new way, is going to be extremely difficult. He's watching, an old friend of his who's climbed the ladder and become like a kingpin and has this great life, including Charles's old girlfriend that he still has a lot of feelings for. He's seeing the cop who beat him up and tried to castrate him is being viewed as a hero. It's just a lot weighing on him, and eventually he cracks under the pressure, and he decides he's going to get vengeance in a very unusual way and a very memorable way. This movie is most infamous because, for some unknown reason, they don't really explain it within the movie, Charles gains the power to use his concentration and his pure masculinity to grow his penis to boa constrictor size and strangle his enemies. And yes, you do see it happen. It's very campy and ridiculous, but it's there. You get to see it. It's not just something that they tell you about. It unfolds on screen. That's what's going to draw in most people to this movie. But I want to tell you that there's much more to Welcome Home, Brother Charles than a gigantic anaconda-sized penis strangling people to death. This is a very mean-spirited, dysfunctional blaxploitation movie that has a lot of hateful characters. There's not a lot of nice people in this movie. There's not a lot of kindness in this movie. There's a lot of banter, just a lot of just human misery, basically. It's played very serious, but honestly, it almost plays like kind of a parody or a satire. But it's so serious and it seems so sincere, but it's so heavy-handed and it's so over the top in the way that it deals with some of the stuff. I think it's entertaining from start to finish. The stuff with the mystical penis is awesome. I'm not going to deny that, but I think there's a lot more here as well. And I just think it's a really fun movie. It's dark, it's nasty, but I think it's a cool movie, and it deserves a better reputation than just the movie with the guy that strangles people with his penis. Although that's a great legacy to have. Don't get me wrong. So I think it's a good movie. If you're a fan of cult films, just bizarre movies or blaxploitation, this is one you're definitely going to want to check out. The Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome has a new 2K scan from the original camera negatives. It's got a featurette about the director. It's got a Q&A with the actress from Emma May, theatrical trailer, multiple teaser trailers, and then you also get the Emma May bonus movie, which again I will do a separate review for. The transfer looks really nice. It looks rough, of course. It is what it is. But that's inherent to the materials. That's not an issue with the scan or with what Vinegar Syndrome has done with this treatment. I can tell you, compared to my old DVD, which was under the Soul Vengeance label, this is a absolute revelation. The movie looks so much clearer and cleaner, so much more visible detail. It's just it's a really, really nice presentation, but I can see how some people might be kind of like, at first, because if you're not used to watching movies like this, because it doesn't look as good as some of the other movies Vinegar Syndrome was put out. But I mean, there's just you have to go with what the elements are, and I think it looks really good for what it is. And obviously the extras are okay as well. I love getting a second movie. That's my favorite kind of supplement. I think, again, if you like weird movies, outsider cinema, blaxploitation, just cult cinema, I would definitely check this out. And especially with having two movies, as if Brother Charles isn't worth it on its own. It's completely impossible to say that it's not worth it with both movies, plus all the supplements and the new scans. You can read my full write-up of Welcome Home, Brother Charles at my website, markfusion.com. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. You can follow me there, see what I'm watching, or you can go to Letterboxd and follow me there, and you can see what I've been watching. I diary it there, and you can kind of get an idea of what might be coming up on the channel. I'm also on Patreon if you want to support me super directly and help me to make new stuff. But the best way you can help me out is just to hit that sub button. If you like watching the videos, it's free, easy, and also a very direct way of supporting me and helping me to continue to make these videos. Another thing that helps me out, if you've got time and there's something that catches your eye, watching old videos is a huge help. Puts up my minute count, my view count, which are things that I don't obsess about, but YouTube does. And if I don't want to lose features, I have to keep up on that. But if there's nothing you want to watch, I understand. But if there is something that catches your eye, just know that that's a huge help to me. So I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do not miss Welcome Home, Brother Charles. This is an awesome movie. It's penis strangulation. I don't know what else you could want, but it's all of that and more. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you soon, guys.